And that is a wrap. Welcome back in, guys. Trey Lowell here with Lowell Productions. If you like that little quick video that I put together recently, stick around as I walk through the setup, the shooting process, and the editing process coming up next. Alright, so we've got three categories in today's video that we're going to walk through, which leads me to our first section, which is setup. Now, when it comes to this particular video, I did have a little bit of an idea in mind of kind of what the overall kind of look and feel that I was going for. Now, that kind of leads me to why I used the black backdrop, which was easily hung with two clips and honestly just a black kind of curtain you could buy off of Amazon. Now, once we have that set up, it leads me to my next portion, which would be, what are we actually going to put the product on? What's going to complement not only the box and the watch, but also kind of bring it to life? So now that we have the completely solid background, we need to assemble our table or where the product would be. Now, one thing that I ended up using because I thought it really complemented the actual box was going to be, my wife and I had some leftover tile from our master bedroom project that we did a while back, and I figured that I would take that instead of my white tabletop here, and I would take those two tiles, push them together, and that nice gray would complement the red shiny box. Now, on top of that, once the watch was pulled out, the black and gold really did pop on the grayish tile. So that was kind of the second step in regards to, we hung our backdrop, we found our table where our product was going to be placed, and then next we're going to now try to do the lighting situation, which in this case you guys can see that I used an overhead softbox which was lit with 4 LED bulbs, and then we had the nice shade over it, which kind of brings to life the product and centers all that light overhead on the product. That way we don't have as much spill on the background. You guys can also see that I set up 2 LED poles, and that's simply going to be to, in a nutshell, backlight the product, but also not just have a solid backdrop, but kind of spice it up a little bit and add some separation between the product, the lights, and the background. Really, I was just trying to goof around with those lights, and just for a little bit of reference point, I actually turned those lights all the way down to 10% so that they were barely on, and so that it wasn't too overpowering, and that still all the focus was on the product. As we have made our way through the setup, the next portion is going to be more of shooting the actual product itself. Now, one thing I will tell you in regards to the B-roll or whatever vibe that I was going for, I definitely chose my music before I shot this video. That way you guys can simultaneously see that while I'm shooting, I'm actually shooting to the music occasionally. Doing a lot of panning and tilting, overhead shots, close shots, wide shots. So now that we have all the shooting done, this is where things kind of get really fun, and we look at our footage for the first time and we come into our editor, and it is time to play and make that hay. Walking through the editing process, we won't spend too much time on here, but one thing I want to recommend when shooting and then bringing it to the editing bay is that on a front end of a 30-second ad, one thing that I'm trying to do is, in a nutshell, start it off with a question mark. I want people to be interested, and that being said, that's where you kind of really want to use one of your best shots. Also, maybe consider not, revealing the entire product in that shot. So our opening shot is, it's a nice pan up and in on the watch, and this is the first time you're going to see the shiny red box. You're going to see the LEDs in the background. You're seeing that nice tile, and you're still kind of wondering, what the heck is this? After 2 seconds, which is where the first cut takes place, I've kind of at least roped you in. Now, at the 2-second mark, we have finally made our first cut, and this is now where we're going to reveal at least what the product is to the audience. They haven't actually seen the product, but for the first time, they're seeing that it's cardal and it's jewelry. And that's at the 2-second mark, a little above headshot. And then I put a little bit of a flare / streak. That is so light on there, but I thought it was a nice little touch. If you guys can see right over the cardal C, there's a little blue streak. So like I said, we've started off real tight. People don't know exactly what it is, but they're interested because the shot looks cool. Our second shot is at least telling them or informing them this is a Cardell piece of jewelry, but they don't know what kind of jewelry. At the 4-second mark, we're going big and wide. We're going to show the entire box, and we're going to show the name, and we're going to show the actually entire scene for this. Still not informing our audience that the watch is what they're here to see. At the 5-second mark, this is where for the first time our audience is going to see the box, and they're going to see just a smidge of that watch. We have informed them this ad is about a watch, and if you like what you see, stick around a little bit longer, but we're not giving it all to them at once. At the 9-second mark, this is the first time the audience is going to see the full face of the watch, and we get to the 14-second mark. Now this is where the music kind of paces up. This is where I kind of like pull out some of the watch details and I'm actually showing the audience. This would be, I guess, the brochure of it. Since I speed ramped the you-know-what out of it, I put a lot of motion blur on it, actually ramped it 800%. When I go to flick the actual brochure is when we then click/zoom into our next scene. And this is the first time the audience has seen the watch outside of the box, so they're getting a full view of it. Got a nice tight shot. We'll go another tight shot, seeing a different angle of the watch. Like I said, out of the box, scaling in. Boom, a big old wide of it. So overall, I hope that gave you guys a little bit of a glimpse into how I approach and execute a product ad similar to this Cardell video. I had a ton of fun shooting it, and the reason that I wanted to give you guys a glimpse is this is all experimental. Every time I walk into this, I have a little bit of an idea of what I want to do, and the end result typically ends up always becoming something bigger and better than I thought. Now, my initial impression is, of course, I want a blockbuster production, but we're going in with absolutely no money, no help, and just a one-man band. And you know, with a little bit of time, a little bit of setup, a little bit of planning, a little bit of effort, you can come out with some amazing results, and I wanted you guys to see exactly how you can do that. And as always, guys, it's Trey Lowell with Lowell Productions. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like the content I keep creating on this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.